morning, dear hearts. I love this lesson that we're having today, and please subscribe. It is a continuation. It is another God is lesson, and we have one more after today. But this one is so important. Not that other lessons are not, but we're being introduced in the lessons to the idea of forgiveness. Today's lesson is, God is the love in which I forgive. God does not forgive because he has never condemned. Now that is a whole different viewpoint of God from many organized religions, that we have to work and achieve and sacrifice to get God's forgiveness. But A Course in Miracles tells us, in truth, God has never condemned his children. He loves his children. So without condemnation, there is no forgiveness required. That's where we want to go. We want to stop with condemnations and judgments in our mind towards another or towards ourselves, as this lesson tells us. So God does not forgive because he is never condemned, and there must be condemnation before forgiveness is necessary. Forgiveness is the great need of this world, but that is because it's a world of illusions. This is a world of ego. This is a world of smoke and mirrors. This is a world where nothing is really real. This is a world of perception. What do I see? Well, if I'm not seeing with vision through the mind of God, I'm not seeing at all. If I'm not thinking from the mind of God, I'm not thinking at all. So that is why, if I have not aligned my mind with God's, then this for me will totally be a world of illusions. Those who forgive are thus releasing themselves from illusions, while those who withhold forgiveness are binding themselves to them, attaching ourselves to this world. Bind. We are bound by it. We are actually in prison, as future lessons will tell us in very poetic ways, but very truly, that we are a prisoner of our thoughts in this world. As you condemn only yourself, so do you forgive only yourself. And that is this mind-blowing moment. What? I didn't realize I had to forgive me. I thought it was them. They did it. It's their fault. No. I'm the one who had the condemning thought to begin with. So I'm the one that I must forgive in order to be free from those unloving, unforgiving thoughts. The next paragraph says, yet although God does not forgive, his love is nevertheless the basis for forgiveness. Fear condemns and love forgives. It's the basis of forgiveness because it's whole. God's love is whole. It is pure. It is innocent. It is radiant. It sees only the spark within every other part of the sonship. Within my brother, with using God's vision, all I see is that spark, that light within him. That makes it a lot easier for me to forgive when I see that light in him and realize that, again, it is coming from me. If I don't have that light, I won't see that light. Forgiveness thus undoes what fear has produced, returning the mind to the awareness of God. For this reason, forgiveness can truly be called salvation. Now, I've used the word freedom for salvation, and it is. Forgiveness gives us the freedom. Forgiveness releases everything that we have attached ourselves to, that we have become a prisoner of. We are free when we are no longer holding on to grievances and judgments. Love undoes every fear thought, and forgiveness undoes every fear thought. It is the means by which illusions disappear. When I forgive all of those false thoughts, those illusions, those judgments, those grievances, they simply disappear. I have no need of holding on to them anymore. The exercising for today is, as it has been now, as we've been introduced, and it's 3 full, at least the 5 full minutes to do this. And in doing it, we close our eyes and spend a minute or two in searching your mind for those you have not forgiven. It doesn't matter how much, it says. I also don't think it will be that much of a stretch to find someone that I have not forgiven. So again, it says it doesn't matter how much. Again, a philosophy of totality. We have either forgiven completely or we have not forgiven at all. We are either in peace completely or we are not in peace at all. So it says if you're doing the exercises, you should have no difficulty in finding a number of people. It's a safe rule that anyone you do not like is a suitable subject, and mention each one by name and say, God is the love in which I forgive you, and fill in their name. Now, that's the first part. The second part is now to turn it towards ourselves, because again, ultimately, I'm needing to forgive me. So if God is the love in which I forgive myself. And then it says to devote, time to the remainder. And again, think how many A Course in Miracles thoughts, ideas are now flowing to you with ease as we do these lessons. There's a couple of other lines there in italics. They are prayer that say, God is the love in which I love myself. God is the love in which I am blessed. God is the love in which I find my truth. God is the love in which I forgive the world. God is the love where all of my illusions and judgments are relieved. God is the love where I choose to abide. There's a prayer. I cannot be guilty because I am a son of God. I have already been forgiven. No fear is possible in a mind beloved of God. There is no need to attack because love has forgiven me. And we're going back, that idea of attack thoughts. My attack thoughts will show me a meaningless world. I need to give up my attack thoughts. I give up my attack thoughts through forgiveness. Just this complete release of every grievance, every judgment that I have ever had will show me that God is the love in which I forgive. And it will show me a world that is where I choose to be, where I want to be, and where God's will for me is. Of course, there's the shorter practice periods. I just want to mention that now before we close, of hourly to say this, and whenever there's a situation, a disturbance to your peace, to say that, and realize that there are many people. It's not just the ones who are close to us. There's the ones that are far away, or those who are not even currently in our life. But if I'm holding on to a grievance towards them, it's time to forgive them and to forgive me for my thoughts about them. So that's it for today. Please like, please share, please subscribe, please comment, please pray. Let's pray for this idea of forgiveness to be given to the world, since we were told it is the great need that this world has. It begins with me, begins with you. Namaste.